David Svetkovsky, Alex Snodgrass and Sophie Foster. A common question that we get asked is how can we structure and build our own internal grad teams, whether it be for the attraction and recruitment or the development. Clearly at the moment, as we're heading through this year, we are probably going to be rolling recruitment all year. And it's not easy to build a team, whether that be internal for a whole year or for long term. So what we're seeing at the moment, Sophie, is a lot of the organisations are struggling. What's some advice you would give to it's predominantly HR managers or HR GMs out there looking to start a program and looking to build a team? What's some of the options and what's some of the strategies they can put in place?
I think, realistically, a lot of, for HR managers, a grad program or an early career talent program isn't their sole job. So it takes up a proportion of their role and they're being pulled in all different directions. So I think it's really tapping into the expertise that they potentially have internally, whether that's their own L&D teams to really support once the graduates have started, or even looking externally to some of those people in the industry who can provide that support, particularly during that attraction and recruitment phase where you are dealing with the volumes, you're dealing with really tight timeframes, and then you can potentially look internally once you've got the grads on board. Really
well said, because in a lot of the cases, most of the people calling us are from a senior level within the HR fraternity, because the business at executive or at board level is going, we need a grad program, want a grad program, or we need to increase the size of it. Now, everyone's capped out resource-wise, so we're probably finding, those programs 10 to 30 grad hires can either build a team of 1 to 2 people and probably get through pulling in resources. But in a lot of cases, it's a HR business partner or HR expert that's probably doing this 20% of their role for 3 months, maximum 20. Yeah. So they are really stretched. We don't mind it. We are an outsource provider and clearly tapping into Fusion to be the invisible engine, that's what our business is built on. There's no issue from that end. But for those internally that are stretched or might be limited with budgets, what's some advice you'd give them?
I think it's really about planning out your year. You obviously know in terms of the recruitment period, typically when you would go to market, those heavier periods where you do require a lot of volume and resource heavy periods. So it's being able to understand what that does look like in terms of either bringing someone on to fill that role or how you can best leverage the expertise in the market to understand and bring that to the campaign. So that you can really tap into bringing in that level of graduate expertise, but also not filling up an entire year of resourcing for a 3-month period potentially. So it's really about understanding and maximising your time as a potential HR manager, this is just a tiny bit of your role, but also being able to bring in that expert level of graduate recruitment.
And it can be effective and efficient and still deliver the right outcomes. And if we have a look at the landscape this year, some organisations are continually going to just recruit. So that means at smaller numbers, you can just keep recruiting, offering, which will reduce the load. Others are going to look to this April, May, June period of covering those 3 months of recruitment and offering, whilst others then will shift from that to probably a July, August, September and have it wrapped up by October before the students go into exam mode. So how can you work within these time zones to map out your resourcing, whether you have it internally, need to patch into an organisation, an outsource provider, or bring in some recruitment type of resources to support you through the program. These are the key considerations. It's not going to be easy for anyone out there. Record numbers of jobs up for early careers managers, grad recruiters, and there's simply the reality is there's simply not enough expertise in comparison to the demand. So thank you for your input, and if you need any more information, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.